Hello. We are going to start at 10 o'clock. As we're waiting, I'm going to share today's PowerPoint in the chat so you can follow along. Okay, welcome to D2L Intermediate. I'm Ping Ping, a PhD fellow from School of Education, working in the instructor support team as a GA. Today, we are going to look at this show and tell session that will cover these 5 tools in D2L: grades, rubrics, video assignment, release conditions, and progress check. Please take note of these tools as we go through. I will transition into D2L directly. If you have any questions, please save them and type them in the chat or in the Q&A as we'll look at all the questions towards the end of the session. First, let's share my screen. Let's do this again. Okay, if you are in C Instructional Design Sandbox, make sure to let me know. Give it a thumbs up so I know I'm sharing the right screen. Okay, so if you're seeing this right screen, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So first, we're going to look at grades. If you don't have gradebook set up already in your course, this is likely what you will see, the landing page after you click on assessment, grades. So we're going to set up the gradebook first before we can create grade categories or items. So you can go ahead and click on start at the end of the page. And we have 3 types of grading system: weighted or points or formula. Yes, I see someone hands up.
Hi, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Where can I find the sandbox? I'm not seeing it in my list of courses.
This is one that I'm using to show and tell in this session. So this is for D2 CTE instructional design. You should have your own sandbox or your course shell that you can play with.
Okay, and
That's
also,
a great. Yes.
Sorry, I also tried your link for the PowerPoint and it's not working. It keeps saying something went wrong. Anybody else having trouble with the link?
Anyone else? Deborah, I see you're trying to speak, but I don't hear you. You're muted. You can see it? Let me see if I can share another link. Give me 1 second. It's working okay. Okay, Leticia, you are in here. Can you share a link to the PDF to the presentation slide? We have someone here who says it's not working. I don't know why. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and continue. Leticia, please help and share the link in the chat. Okay, so 3 grading system. We have weighted, points, or formula. This is the one that I use the most often, but you can use other ones as well. I'm going to use weighted as an example in this walkthrough. Click on continue. Here you can use calculated or adjusted. That's up to you. I usually use this one, and towards the end, if I want to make changes to the gradebook to the final grade, I can come back here and then choose this one instead towards the end. If you want to add a curve or something like that, click on continue. So pay attention to how you treat ungraded items. If you choose the first one, basically students start with 100. That means you will have to update grades very in a timely manner. Otherwise, students might think they're doing well when they don't. They are not doing well, okay? But if you choose the second one, treat ungraded items as 0, I think that might be the default. Students will basically start with 0 and build up their grade as semester goes. This might induce some anxiety in some students, so make sure to communicate with students how your gradebook works. I think the default is letter grade, but you can also choose percentage so they can see how much percent they have earned as semester goes. Click on continue. I don't think this is as important, so you can keep it as default. Make sure to click this box to display final grade calculation to users. If you don't click on this one, students don't see their final grade in the gradebook. And this is a summary of the wizard setup, and click on finish. So after that, you want to come here. It's called manage grades. This is where you can start to create your categories and grade items. Click on new, you can see categories and item, right? So categories will help you to organize your grade items. Grade items is where you will enter grades and students will see their grades in these items. Note here I have an error message that says my total sums to 95. That means I use weighted system and the weight of each category, adding that up is 95, not 100. So if you see a notice at the top that says it's not 100, you want to adjust the weight of your category so that it sums to 100, not anything else. And next, I want to draw your attention to the association column. So if you see association that shows the type of assessment and also a question mark here, that means this is linked to a specific assessment activity. So when you grade this one in the discussion forum, the grades will populate and update the gradebook automatically. But if you see a hyphen like what I have here, and also in these grade items, that means they are not associated. So when you grade this one, the grade will not update the gradebook. So how to do that? So we can use SPSS assignment 2 as an example. So we can go to assignments, go to the specific assessment activity, whether that's a discussion or assignment, quiz. We're going to use its assignment as PSS assignment 2 as an example. So click on edit assignment. This is the setup page. So we have point value, but it's not in the gradebook. So you want to click on here, edit or link to an existing. And I have it set up here there already. So it's SPSS assignment 2. Click on OK. Close, save and close. So we can come back to the gradebook and see SPS assignment 2. So this is the landing page. You want to go to manage grades. And see, this one is linked. So it works the same way with discussion or quizzes. So let's use this one as an example. So discussion 1 is not associated with the gradebook. So we're going to do one more demonstration here. So find this assessment activity, add it, basically go back to the setup page. And here it says not in the gradebook. So we can link to an existing grade item. This is discussion 1. Click on OK and save and close. So let's come back to the gradebook. I'm going to look at all the questions towards the end. Manage grades. So discussion 1 now is associated with the gradebook. This is very important. If you don't associate items with activities, your gradebook will not be updated as you enter grades. Next one, this is where you will enter grades. So I would suggest click on this switch to standard view. Spreadsheet view, sorry. I think it was in the spreadsheet view already. The default is standard view. So here is where you can enter grades directly. And after you're done, at the end of the semester, you can export your grades. So you can select what you want to include in the final grade report, export to CSV or Excel file, and upload it to Banner at the end of the semester. You don't have to enter grades into the Banner manually. Right, I think the next one on item is rubrics. Let's take a look at the rubrics. So we can start with existing rubrics in the system, assessment rubrics. So anytime you don't see what you want in the menu bar here, nav bar here, you can click on course admin. This will bring you to every tools that you have access to. So rubrics, let's take a look at the rubrics. In the system, we have uploaded or published some rubrics already. So let's take a look at this. I think D2L supports analytic rubrics, not holistic rubric. So you will see criteria listed on the left, and then different levels for each criteria at the top, and then you can assign point value and give a description for each level. And then I think at the bottom, you have the overall score, basically different levels with different points associated, different point range associated. So you can attach the rubrics to assignments. It will save you time when it comes to grading. Let's see how to attach one to assessment, and then I'll show you how it will save you time after we have add one. Say we use the final paper as an example, go to the edit page or the setup page again. The evaluation and feedback on the right, you can click on that. This is where you can add a rubric. So we're going to add an existing one. I'm going to use one that I'm familiar with, and then click on add selected. So you can see it's added here. Let's save and close. When we go back to evaluation, it will save you a ton of time. So if you go to final paper, go to evaluation, these are our fake students. So let's go to evaluations, and then you can see you can use this to just click and choose. Each one will give a little description of that criteria. After you're done, you can publish. You can also save draft. I'm gonna save draft here. So the points will update here automatically. You can also leave an overall note. Let's see, back to submission, final paper. So if that rubric does not apply to you, or you attach the wrong one, you can remove by clicking on this cross, basically. Delete rubric, detach. I'm gonna save it. So you can see you don't have a rubric here already anymore. If you want to create one, if none of the rubrics in the system applies to you, you can enter your criteria here and the levels up here, assign point value, reverse order. So it goes in from 1 to 5. It doesn't have to be 5 levels. It can be 4 levels. It can be 6 levels, depending on whatever you need. You can add more criteria at the bottom here. And this is where you will set up the overall score. So basically different levels and the point range. And then after you're done, oh, make sure to give it a title. I don't think I gave it a title. And save and close. How to get the rubrics into the system. Okay, I'm gonna show it one more time. Click on the assignment that you want to associate a gradebook, a rubric with, okay? Go to the editing page or the setup page. Go to evaluation and feedback, and here is where you can add a rubric. If you want to see, if you come here at existing, you have basically access to all the published rubrics. You just need to type in a name if you know that name, or go through the list and find it. I don't know if that's the question that you're asking, Deborah.
Yes, that was the question. I didn't know that there were automatically some rubrics already in the system. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Those are mostly for university core courses, so it might not apply to you if you don't teach one of those courses. You can also go to the course admin. There is a section assessment. So this is also where you can find rubrics that are already in the system. But I think most of them are for university core courses. Okay, next on the agenda, let me check. Video assignment, and so Bongo, video assignment, and video note. So let's look at Bongo first. I think on any landing page that you are on, if you click on assessment, there's one that called video assignment. This is powered by Bongo. I know public speech uses this tool very extensively in their courses. Click on this add plus, this plus sign at the bottom right corner. So that you can set up an individual assignment, group assignment. So these two, one is where you can give it a question in words, in text. The other one is you can give the instructions in video format too. So students will respond in video format. It will allow them to record on this website, on this within D2L. They don't have to get out of the learning management system. I think that's okay. Next, we're going to look at Video Note really quick. So Video Note is a new tool that we're going to have access to. It's really cool. It will help you to personalize your interaction with students. You can give feedback in Video Note. You can add instructions in Video Note. So anytime you see an HTML editor like this, you can insert, you can have this insert stuff menu. That's where you can use Video Note. So we can take a look at this. So you can click on new recording. You can record on your computer for up to 30 minutes or upload a file that you have created already. So we can look at this because my camera is in use already. So right now it's audio only. Start recording. Yeah, okay. I think that's a playback. I'm going to cancel. I think it's available also in, I think, assignments. Let's see. Remember in assignments, we have that little box where we can leave overall feedback. Go to evaluation. So here, even in this, when you give students feedback, if you want, you can use insert stuff and then add a video note. I think the cool thing about Video Note is auto transcribes and auto captions, so you don't have to add those in and manually, and you can adjust them. I think it supports over 10 languages as well at this moment, and they are adding more languages to this tool. All right, the next one is release conditions. Let's get back go back to content, course content. So release conditions will allow you to restrict content, materials, activities based on some kind of criteria. For example, if I want to limit this page, this is a HTML page the students will see. If I want to make sure that they read this page first, and then they will be able to access this page, I can add a release condition here. So come to this page, click on this 3-dot menu, and then the release conditions. You can create one if you don't have one already. So I'm going to make sure they visit a content topic before they can see this video note. After that's added, you can see from from instructors, and this is what that means. So a little eye with this gear icon. This means this item has a release condition. Students will have to meet certain criteria. Then they can they can see this page. So make sure that students are aware their release conditions, that some content are hidden until they meet certain criteria. Otherwise, they may not know it's there. To remove it, come back here and then click on this X to remove the release conditions. Okay, I think you can add this release conditions to announcements, to reminders, to assessment activities, anything that you want, as long as you set up the release conditions correctly. The next one on item is to use the class progress tool. Again, go to course admin. This is where you have access to all the whistles and bells in D2L. Class progress is over here. This will help you to track students' progress, track specific activities. So there are 4 indicators at a time, but you can change these 4 and use other indicators if you want. If you want to make changes to that, here's a little setting gear. Click on that. These are the 4. If you want to replace one, say if I want to make sure they visit some kind of content, monitor if they visit content, or if they participate in discussions. Save and close, you can see it's updated here. This is a cool tool to help you to keep track of students' activities. Next, we have some resources. Let me stop sharing. I think that's all the topics that we are going to cover. In the handout that you receive in the chat, there are some resource links that you can go and explore more. Now I'm going to look at some questions that we may have. I think there's a change to the schedule. Let me find the slide. So if you need help during the semester, make sure to reach out to CTE or the instructor design team. There is a change to the schedule. I think yesterday the family game night was on. I don't know if you have gone. Wednesday in the schedule, there was an event that was canceled. So make sure to check the most updated schedule on the CTE website. Thank you for attending this session. Okay, I'm going to go through the questions really quick. In the meantime, I'm going to share these links in the chat. I'm going to read through the questions. Can you assign point value for finishing a survey in the gradebook? I believe so. Let's check how to do that.
Ping, I went through and answered a bunch of your questions.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Go to assignments. I don't think you can set up grades in checklist directly, but you can definitely manually enter grades in there. So you can add a new item in a specific category and then going in there and enter a grade. Okay, let me see. Oh, you can also use a quiz. Yes, that's a better way of doing that. Delete an assignment in the gradebook. Delete an assignment in the gradebook. I think if you have to take away the association first, and then you can delete the assignment in the gradebook. I'm going to screen share again. Let's do that here. So say if I want to delete assignment 3 or assignment 2 from the gradebook, I'm going to have to take away the association first before I can delete this one from the gradebook. Otherwise, you don't have that option. Let's go to assignment 2 first. Anytime you want to attach or detach that from the gradebook, you want to go back to the assessment setup page. So first, choose reset to ungraded, or choose not in the gradebook. Save and close. And then go back to the grades. Manage grades. The landing page is always enter grades. I think it's in here is where you can delete. Assignment 2. More options. Delete. If you don't detach, say if you choose assignment 1, I don't think you have. Let's see, delete. Assignment 2, you can delete. Assignment 1, you cannot because it's still associated. So you can click on this assignment 2, delete. If you want, so it will still stay in the assignment tab. What you can do is to hide it from users. You can delete it. You can delete this assignment. Delete. Select assignment, delete. Or you can hide it from users. As long as they don't see it, it won't cause any issues, I think. Can that recording be downloaded and then added to another system? Are you talking? Oh, Bongo. Can you show how to set up automatic email reminders to students who have missed an assignment in D2L? This is a great question. Which assignment? Let's use, say, midterm paper.
Ping ping.
Yes.
The email reminders is part of the next session.
Oh, okay.
And then as for the bongo question, I was researching that, and you cannot download the video that you've recorded from Bongo. However, you can copy it from one course to another. And you do have the option of uploading to Bongo.
Yes, okay. Automatic email reminder. You have to go to advanced D2L. Leticia will show how to do that in that session. Please answer it here. I can do a quick walkthrough probably. Sorry, Leticia. We do have time, so if you go to assignment, go to edit assignment. No, I don't think it's here. Sorry, course admin. See, Leticia is the pro at this. I think it's intelligent agent. Yes, that's what you will use to send out reminders. Click on new agent. So midterm paper reminder. Scheduling when you want to do it. You can do a one-time run. You can do weekly run. Add a criteria. User with specific role, you want to send it to students, not the instructor or TA if you have TAs in your class. So these are course activities or logins. So you need to create release conditions. Assignment submission to folder, right? Midterm paper, create. So if some, okay. I don't think that's the correct one. Create no submission to folder. If students don't submit it, they'll get a reminder. So this is actions is where you can click on send an email. This is where you can set it up. What you want to tell students about this assignment. Okay. I think in advanced, there are a lot of cool tools that you definitely should go and check it out. All right, if you have time, I would like you to take a minute to give us some feedback so that we can improve. All right. Whew, I managed to get it done within 30 minutes. Let us know if you have any questions, more questions, and hope to see you in advanced session later. Okay, I can stop. See you guys. Thank you for coming.